Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's your baby girl Dema Obiekwe, a Port-Harcourt-based YouTuber here in Nigeria. Okay guys, I'm actually here to talk about something that has been all over the internet. Like, it's been all over the internet. I am not the kind of person who reacts to videos, or when I see videos or people making videos about a thing, I try to react. But I'm going to be reacting to this because I have one or two things I want to talk about. I just want to give my own piece of advice. And what I want to be talking about is about the death of the famous singer Osinachi Nwachukwu. See, I am not an advocate of problems. Anybody who knows me knows I am an advocate of peace when it comes to marriage, like a peacemaker. My friends actually call me that, a peacemaker. No matter what it is, you try to just work it out. Don't leave the marriage, don't do this, because I know that marriage is an institution that is formed by God. God brought it into play when he told Adam that he was going to make someone out of his rib, which he called a woman to be his helpmate, to be his lover, to be someone he can talk to, instead of just talking to animals or just being alone as a man. He made that because he knew a man needed a companion. He needed a relationship. He didn't want man to be alone. That was why he made a woman. Do you understand? So marriage is an institution created that is planted by God, and I don't see any reason why someone will actually make up his or her mind to marry, and at the end of the day you're talking about divorce and all that. You get that? Is why I am an advocate for peace when it comes to marriages. But in this particular case, I am a peacemaker does not mean when it comes to domestic violence, when it comes to physical abuse of a woman. I am not an advocate of that. I have told anybody who have come across me, in as much as I want peace to reign in our families, not when it comes to physical beating. Like, you point, you beat, you do a lot of things to a woman. I am not an advocate of that. There are lots of abuses in marriages. There are lots of abuses: emotional abuse, financial abuse, sexual abuse. There are lots of abuse. But this physical abuse is paramount, because when it comes to us women, we can actually deal with the other abuses in one way or the other. No matter how much it's hard for us, you just tend to talk about it. It's something you can talk about. It's something you can work on. But when it comes to physical abuse, it's life-threatening. It is life-threatening. Very, very threatening. That I don't understand how a man will raise his hand over his wife. And you do that on a daily basis. This is my 10th year in marriage. My first year in marriage was very trying. Very, 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 very trying. I know a lot of people say, I see videos of people who say, you don't know the man, court the man now. If you know, I was in courtship. I courted my husband, even if we were not. I know a lot of people now tend to move in with their fiancé and fiancées, you know, but I didn't live in. I didn't move in with my husband. I wasn't living with him, but we courted. We courted for a good number of years, a good number, to have made me known this man. This is how he is. But the first year of my marriage was very trying. Like, in fact, it gave birth to whatever I'm enjoying for this extra 9 years, because that first year was actually trying, because nobody was pretending about anything. Everybody was not bringing out their character. It wasn't so different from what it used to be. But you know, when you're in a relationship, you see this person today and the person annoys you, and you just think, I leave him, you forgive and you just move on. But when you're in a marriage, you live with this person practically. You see this person every morning. You sleep with this person at night. You wake up, you eat together, you pray together, you do everything together. So when that kind of character that you used to see during the relationship used to be now weekend thing, now it annoys you, I'm sorry, you go. Maybe because of anger, you don't see the person again for the next 2-3 months, and the next time you're seeing again, you're all lovey, you're liking yourself, you're doing all the good stuff together. See, marriage is not like that. You wake up every morning to see that person. So if the person annoyed you yesterday, and you even have the grace to forgive the person yesterday, you still wake up in the morning to see this person. We are human beings. In as much as you have forgiven, you have not forgotten. There's still some other characters you'll be playing that is showing that person that you annoy me, or you did this one, you did that one. In as much as my husband is a good man, I have received a hot slap before in the first year of my marriage. If you tell him now, he will tell you, I never touched you, I have not touched you, I cannot forget it. That particular slap, I cannot forget it. I will not forget it. Let alone someone who they punch every day. Like every day. Every day they point you. Every day they point you and you're quiet about it. I'm going to be giving us reasons why a lot of people are actually quiet about these marriages. I'll give you a list of what abuses are. Just stay with me. Okay guys, I'm going to be actually reading out the kinds of abuses that we have and what they mean for the people who do not really understand. I'm going to be reading that from my phone. Okay, we have the physical violence, which occurs when someone uses a part of their body or an object to control a person's action. Then we have the sexual violence. Violence occurs when a person is forced or unwillingly to take part in sexual activity. We also have the emotional violence. Emotional violence or abuse occurs when someone says or does something to make a person feel stupid or worthless. Psychological violence or abuse occurs when someone uses threats and causes fear in an individual to gain control. We have have you ever heard of spiritual violence or spiritual abuse? I have found it. They said spiritual or religious violence occurs when someone uses an individual's spiritual belief to manipulate or dominate or control that person. And we have the cultural violence. It occurs when an individual is harmed as a result of practices that are part of her or his culture, religion, or tradition. We have verbal abuse. This one, we receive it every day. A lot of marriages go through verbal abuse every day. It occurs when someone uses languages, whether spoken or written, to cause harm to an individual. We have the financial abuse. It occurs when someone controls an individual's financial resources without the person's consent or misuses their resources. We have neglect too. Neglect occurs when someone has the responsibility to provide care or assistance for an individual but does not. From this thing I have read out, there is nobody who is in marriage that will not say he does not pass through one of these abuse. Nobody is perfect. Nobody will say he or she does not. But if yours is perfect, glory be to God, I don't have a problem with that. But from what I have read, out of these 9 abuses or violence I have read, nobody will say he or she hasn't passed through it. But I am only talking on the physical. Because if not for the physical abuse and all that, Osinachi wouldn't have been dead by now. And I'm going to also talk about the causes why these things happen in our home, and a lot of people are quiet about it. They do not want to come out open to talk about it. One is their finance. If you talk about it, you don't have the money to move out of the house. Even if you're willing to move out because someone is abusing you physically, you don't have the money to cater for your children. You don't have the money to rent an apartment. You don't have the money to feed those children. So they continue to stay there and receive such abuses. Secondly, some people do not speak up because of what people will say, because of what the society is going to say. Some people do not even speak up because of what their parents will say, because they have deacons and deaconesses as parents, they have knights and ladies as parents, they have pastors, reverends, they have bishops as parents. And what will my parents say? And you continue to wallow. You continue to wallow in such pain. Physical abuse comes with a lot of things because it's the father of abuses. It comes with emotional abuse. It comes with a lot of things. Physical abuse murders a lot of these abuses I have mentioned now. And I see people also saying, I'm actually reacting to a lot of videos I have watched. I'm not going to be placing them on my screen, but I'm reacting to a lot of videos I have watched and what a lot of people have said. See this life, how I understand life is, live your life to the fullest and to the best that you can give. Like anything that you seem that you do that makes you happy, that makes you comfortable, that makes you okay in the sight of God, between just you and God, you do it. Because there is nothing you're going to do on this planet Earth that is going to be enough for people to say, this person did well. If that lady had left her home, people will still say, I think say she did sing for church. I think say she did do this one. Hi, this woman. Hi, church no good though. Hi. They would have still called her names. A lot of people would have still called her names. A lot of people would have said, why did you not stay there? A lot of people would have said, so just do what. I'm not going to be dwelling on Osinachi Nwachukwu because she's already gone. I cannot bring her back to life no matter what I say today. But I'm talking to the women who are still alive. I'm still talking to us. A lot of women who are still in abusive marriages. And you do not want to speak up. If you die, those children you feel you're staying back for, another woman will come in to take care of them. She will either take care of them properly or she will take care of them negatively. One must happen. One must happen. And I'm also going to be talking to parents who send their children off for marriages, and when they come home complaining to you, you feel they are mad or they are crazy. I have a friend now who is married to an occultic man. How do you solve such issues? How do you live with that kind of man? How do you cope? How do you cope? And when she speaks up about it, people see her as being crazy. Go home and work out your marriage. If she dies there tomorrow now, some people will say, why she no go? Why she no run comot? She be all there. She no get sense. Women, we are our own problem. You see us? Now we be our own problem. It's no longer about being financially stable. It's no longer about it. Because that lady was actually financially stable. But she couldn't be in charge of her things. She couldn't be in charge of her money. She couldn't because she had an abusive husband. A man who abused her emotionally. Who made her feel she didn't have any worth. Who made her... I've seen people who came online to see was actually lamenting that the man wants to kill her ministry. I know a lot of people who would have been great singers today, but because they married a wrong husband, they married the wrong man, they married something that was not good enough. I don't want to abuse anybody. That wasn't good enough for them. Their dreams, their everything, all the plans they have in their life has been crumbled. And they are suffering. They cannot speak up. They cannot speak up. I'm also going to be speaking to the conscience of our parents of these days, because our parents of those days have made their mistakes. They were the ones who produced the beasts that are doing all sorts of domestic and whatever physical violence. Look before you leap. Some say during the courtship, they did not see these threats in this man. They did not see this one. When you have someone who actually raises his voice or threatens to beat you in a relationship, my dear sister, when he gets married to you, he will definitely beat you. Relationship, he can pretend all he wants. He can pretend all he wants. If you're wise and you ask for God's wisdom, you will actually detect the man who is not for you, who can actually abuse you in these ways. A lot of us marry out of desperation. No matter how bad he is, I don't pass, I don't clock 40, I beg, I need the man, I need to marry. You're not considering what you're going into. A lot of us marry out of desperation. A lot of us marry out of pity. Hey, I have dated him for so many years. If I leave him now, he will feel bad. Now, who pity help? When you start suffering it, who is going to suffer it with you? Who is going to suffer it with you? You now get married, you become a punching bag, you start raising children, you raise sons who watch your husband beat you every single day, and you think that if that son grows up, he will not beat his wife. You think that if he grows up, he will not beat his wife. You raise daughters who watch your husband punch you every day. And you think when they grow up, they will not start beating their husband because they want to retaliate for their mothers who have been beaten while they were growing up. You cannot raise your children in such environment. It is not possible. The more you do it, the more you get this generation entangled. The more you do it, you entangle our generation. You start seeing men and women who grew up to marry people who they call their wives. They say, wife, submit to your husband. Why, husband, love your wife like you love yourself. If you're beating your wife, how do you now love her? What is the love there? What is she doing in your house? Or if you're beating your husband, we talk about a lot about women. There are men who are actually physically abused too, but they don't talk about it. So when I'm talking it's vice versa. Like I'm talking to the men and I'm also talking to the women. You don't remain in an abusive relationship and let your children just suffer and wallow. I have a son. I have a son and 3 daughters. If they offend you, come tell mommy, or you tell daddy, or you tell any elder who is around, you don't touch them. Because when I start allowing him beat these girls, he will grow up knowing they beat women. When he has a girlfriend, he beats her. When he has a wife, he beats her. And it becomes the norm. If I let it be, it will look like he's the elder one, he's training them. You're not training them. You're training yourself for the future. You don't touch my daughters. He dare not. He won't try it. Because that's why they take stats. Please, the death of this woman really pained me. When you listen to her songs, you see her, I don't know her personal life. It is the one I have seen on screen I'm talking about. She looks and she sings like a heavenly candidate. I saw a write-up on Twitter. Someone was saying it's her own cross for her husband to beat her to death. God forbid. It's not my portion. Women, when you are being physically abused in a relationship, end the relationship. End it. Any man who beats you in a relationship will beat you in marriage ×2. Any man who does anything negatively in relationship will double it ×2. I am telling you the truth. Face your other challenges. Make it not be beaten. Make it not be beaten. There are men who make you feel less of yourself. It's also an abuse. But you see, physically beating a woman, I am not an advocate of it at all. I am not. For you who is a friend who is watching me, a family member, a relation, a well-wisher, and you come across someone you say you love, someone you say you like, someone you see as family or as a friend, and the person is being abused in his or her marriage, please give them the best advice that you can. Give them positive advice. You don't put the blames on them. I know some people go to pastors to say, I'm being abused. They start correcting them. What is that thing that you're doing that is not right? What is that thing? What is that thing that is making you people quarrel? Please correct it. Does that give that man or the woman the right to be beating somebody? So if the person is doing something wrong, you should beat the person to death because now you born them. Is that it? Is that the right encouragement or is that the right advice to be given? You make it look like it's the person that is bringing the beating upon him or herself. That is very wrong. It is very wrong. If I do something wrong, we are adults, you call me to order. It's not raising your hand at me like you're the one giving me life. You don't do that. When you see your friends, you see your family members being abused in their relationship and marriages, give them the right advice. In Nigeria, in as much as our whatever is not stable, I know that there are people who I know who have run to FIDA and FIDA have helped them. For abusive marriages, they sanction the man. As a human being, you should know when you're doing good and when you're doing bad. But whatever it is that a human being does, it does not warrant you as a man or a woman to raise your hand over your partner. It's not done. It's not good at all to be. It's not something good. If you're abused, open up. Your parents, and parents, please accept your children when they come and say they are being abused. When they come to say they are being abused, accept them. If that marriage must work, call the man, tell him to sign an undertaking. Don't touch my daughter again. If you touch her, this is what is going to happen to you. Put it in the police station. You don't spoil anything. I have seen people who did that and it's been working. Me say we no go heaven. If you're being abused, please speak up. Speak up. Do the right things. If your family is not there to support you, there's feeder to support you. Feeder. I've not been there before, but I know a lot of people have gone there and it's been working out for them. You can browse it. You can Google it. If you're watching my video, that means your internet's gonna want. Please go and Google feeder. You get their address from there. You take it up from there. What is all this? Please, I just came here to give my own piece of advice. Do not let anybody molest you in any way. Do not let anybody inflict any abuse on you in any way, especially the physical abuse. If you die, your story will be that of Osinachi Nwachukwu. Everybody is now ranting on the internet, but she's gone. Everybody is saying the way I'm saying my own now, their own peace of mind, but she's gone. She's not going to come back to life. She's not going to come back to life. Somebody who has been singing all her life. When did her music even blow? Was it not 2 or 3 years ago that I even started hearing of her, the Kweme song or whatever? Someone who has a long time to live on earth, to fulfill her dreams and visions. A man has come to cut it short, and somebody is saying it's her own cup. It's her own cup of cross, or it's her own electric. It's not making sense. If you're being abused, you speak up. If you're being abused, speak up. Find help. Your pastor might need to read Bible. Lord, have mercy. Help me. Do whatever. If you die, your pastor will come bury you. That man of God will come bury you. Say it is the will of God. It's as simple as that. Don't let anybody talk you down. Don't let anybody make you feel you don't have anybody to help you. Who do you want to go and corner? Do you have a mother? Do you have a father? Do you have any family relation that is going to help you? And you're there, you want to die. Now lie. Speak up. God will send helper your way to help you. God will send helper your way to help you. At least speak up. A shared problem is a problem half solved. I think this is all I came in here to say. And God will continue to guide and protect us. Please raise your children properly. You don't raise them in rough environments. And God help us. In Jesus' name, amen. It's me, D3ath. Please, if this is the first time you're seeing my face, consider subscribing to my channel. Consider subscribing to my channel. If you're seeing this post on Facebook, please just click on www.youtube.com, type in D3ath, subscribe and turn on post notification so you get to know each time I upload a new video. Thank you for my returning subscribers who always come back and tune in to watch my videos. Thank you, and may the Lord bless you. Only good things are permitted to happen in your life. Amen. And I'm going to see you in my next video. Bye.